So good afternoon. Yesterday I started a collage and I just wanted to kind of show you the results on actually, so I started doing obviously the leaves and again thinking about your composition, and this is actually the kind of final result. Saying that, from this point here now, I can add on, and we were talking about sort of different decorative papers, and I've got some quite, though I haven't got a lot of printing of that one, I have got basically some quite nice decorative papers that could go on and actually add on to the side of it, and I may just choose to take it on one side, which is probably what I will do. So along with that one, and I'm just going to show this one as well. This is again another idea, just actually kind of making a frame with decorative paper. As we talked about printing, this is kind of cling film inks, just working with different printing on newspaper and things like that as well. So again, collaging is definitely a way to get rid of some papers, but doing it in a decorative way. If you've got loads of papers like I do, where I do my own paper techniques, you actually get a chance to sort of play around, and you're kind of making images. Now, believe it or not, people buy these. So I would say that, you know, just start playing around and have a go. Now, if you feel that it's buckling up, okay, because of the glue, because there's obviously different things that you put on, make sure it's really well dried, and then use parchment paper, sandwich this in between parchment paper, and use a hot iron, possibly on the linen on the hottest setting, and then just go over the top, and it will soon flatten down anything. So the other thing I wanted to show you is working with things like anaglypta paper. Now, anaglypta paper is actually for the walls, wallpaper, but it's like got a raised pattern, and this is actually quite nice to do different techniques with, and it's definitely, you can add things to it as you go along. So I'm just gonna bring that. The other thing that was quite nice to do is working with combs, and that is kind of like combs and colour just put down, and you just see as it goes. Techniques, all techniques. So I'm just going to take this paper now, and I could quite easily take another feather and put that on and join it, but again, joining it from there to there, you'd probably need some tissue paper. So I'm actually not probably going to go with that feather because I've got plans for that feather. But I am going to go with some of this. So I'm just going to, instead of tearing this, I'm going to cut this out neatly, and I'm going to cut it along there so that I can stick it down, and then I will put some tissue paper on it to hold it. So, right, okay, let's leave that there. And then I am going to follow the line, because I am going to kind of go up and down to following the design. What would have been nice is if I'd cut this out, cut the actual design out, all the holes in between, and attached it so it's like more like a stencil, but you know something, I only just thought of that. So I'm going to put this, I'm going to take that away. There, okay, and I'm going to put this under there, okay, so that kind of starts to make, and you can build out and keep building out all the way. I'm going to turn that round there like so, okay, and allow that to join on there. Okay, obviously I haven't got enough. I can do another one which is lighter going up, and then I'm just going to grab the tissue paper as well. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on that, okay, going to put that over like so. Make sure it doesn't stick to the table. I might actually just take that for a minute and just put some glue down generally. I'm going to put some glue down generally. I'm going to place that on there. Okay, so that will take to that. I'm going to just glue over the top. Then we're going to take this one here, move that one out of the way. And again, I'm just going to add glue onto this bit here. It's really important to have something down on your table, because if you're gluing, you don't want it to go on your table, okay, unless you've got one of those decorating tables that you don't mind what happens to it. Okay, so I'm putting that down there, and I'm just adding to that. Okay, and you know, one thing with collaging, you don't have to be like, you know, waiting for things to happen. You can make things happen as you go along. Now that I just torn off the last one I had, and I could put that on the side there, and that will make that a little bit more intensive. And I quite like the raw edge. So again, you could have different things coming on for different reasons. And this picture can grow and grow and grow. I mean, I've done pictures where they've ended up being quite small like this to being quite intense and quite large. They certainly can grow in size. So again, just finding your niche and having a go, okay, is no harm in doing that. Just make sure you're gluing again over the top. And if you don't find it staying, take a little bit of tissue paper, and it doesn't matter whether it's already got a design on it or not, and then you can actually, again, once you put the glue down over the top, you can let it fade in. Okay, I'm going to do it a little bit like so, and then put a little bit more down so that, you may feel that it's fading out, but then it's all in the interest of the design. And I think I may have mentioned yesterday that you can print on top of this afterwards. So you could actually do something like stencils or a lino print on top. Okay, so again, you know, you've got different things that can come in that can add to this design. And as you see, I'm building up and building up and building up, and different things happen for different reasons, I find, when you're doing art, and you're not really having to worry like too much about it, you know, because art is supposed to be the fun part where you just relax and you have a go. And I kind of just covered that leaf, which is not what I wanted to do, but never mind. I'm going to just again put a little bit more down so that it is acting as basically my kind of little bit there. Okay, so, and a kind of a little bit more different dynamics actually happening. So I'm now going to do this side, and you know, I don't like hard edges, but I think that's probably quite a lot of art people don't like hard edges, and it's just a case of kind of playing with what you have and kind of putting that down. So again, because I'm working with tissue paper, it's quite forgiving because it just picks up the background, and when you've got it, you do it in small bits rather than in big bits, because then you've got a little bit more control over what's happening. Okay, so that's going quite a bit over the design, but that's okay. Or do I like that? Because I don't really want to lose that design. Oh, I might take that one away actually. We do sometimes make a little bit mistakes. Let's try it from the other angle. Okay. Might be a little bit better. Okay, there we go. Okay. And then it's allowing, because how that design was, it's kind of going into my leaf pattern. So that's, I don't know what I did there. Oh, probably some inking that I did, and it's taken the reverse sheeting. Okay, so again, just going over that, making sure that's working, sure that's inked down, and again taking a little bit more, and I will find another piece that will go further up. Okay, so you're just, again, those bits, so you're losing the hard edge by what you are doing, and eventually we get there. Okay, so this is Confidence to Collage number 3, finishing off what we started yesterday, but adding more in. So again, it still gets a little bit more intense. Oh dear, that's now sticking to the paper. I shall transfer onto, there's one thing, if you work on plastic, okay, you can just peel it off once it's dry, because glue doesn't stick to plastic. Anyway, have a good afternoon. Take care for now.